Hello everyone. It's been a while since I posted last time. One of the reasons being that I haven't actually been able to go out fishing too much, mainly because I've been moving around so much. And I now live in Helsinki, which is not the best place to go river fishing for trout and grayling, which is my main interest. I will be focusing some on maybe catching some big pike later on in the autumn, so maybe there will be some posts about that later on. But today I'm going to be doing a clip on something I've been thinking of doing for a long time, which is talk about different knots and what knots I normally use. And it's really hard to, like, when you read different forums and stuff like that about knots, to really know which one is the best. And it was the same thing for me. So what I did is that I sometimes could spend several hours just tying different sets of knots, and doing 10 in a row and just getting a feel for how easy they are to tie and how well they work, and I finally found one knot that works better than any of the other knots I've tried, and it's actually called an Eugene bend knot, or sometimes known also as the penny knot or the Z knot. And the reason I like this knot is because essentially it's 100%. I will demonstrate that later on, which means that it won't break on the knot, but the main line going on into the fly will break instead. The second reason, and there's different ways of tying this knot, but the way I do it is really fast, and you can also do it in poor lighting conditions. So if you're getting older like me and your eyesight is getting worse, especially in dim lighting conditions, then this is a knot that is much easier to achieve. And for this knot, you just need a long tag end. Then you fold this the long tag end to form a loop, and you pinch everything together with your thumb and index finger. And what you then do is that you put your hand below the main line, and your fingers will be pointing towards you, and you will put the finger into this loop, still pointing towards you. Think of it as you're trying to poke yourself in the eye, and so you got the right direction. Once you've done that, you just go twice around the main line, and then you put your fingers through, and you can use your thumb and index finger to fish out the tag end, and that's basically a knot there. What you now do is that you tighten it. You don't want to tighten it too much or too little. If it's too much, then you will cause some friction damage on the main line. If it's too loose, the knot itself will actually just go over the eye of the hook, and you'll have to start over. So you need tension that's somewhere in between there. And what happens now is that you see the form of the knot change, and that will usually be indicated as in the form of a small pop, like you heard there. And that's when you know the knot is done, and you don't have to continue testing it further on. Now I'm just going to show this again, just to show how easy and fast this is. You just get your tag end, you have a long tag end, you fold it in half, control that with your thumb and index finger, put your finger under the line, through the loop twice around, use your thumb and index finger again to pull through the tag end, tighten it until you hear that pop, and it's done. And I'm going to show this now, demonstrate with some 4x tippet that this is nylon, that indeed it is most of the times 100%. We'll see if I manage this time and how many attempts I have to do. This will also give you a feel of how quick this knot actually is to tie once you know it. Go through it again, long tag end, fold it in half, go through the loop, turn twice, moisten, and then you'll hear that pop. And now, and you can see there that the knot is intact and the main line is the one that broke, which means that this is indeed 100%, maintains 100% strength, and is very fast to tie. So I rest my case. The other thing I want to show you is that probably people have different ways of doing a dropper knot, and I'll show you the knot I use. It's not better than most of the other knots around there. It's just faster to tie using the same principle as this Eugene bend knot, or the way at least I tie it. So you have your long loop if you're gonna have your main line, and then you want to have a dropper for a nymph or something like that. You align the two lines, you form a loop taking your right hand and placing it over the left hand in front of you. You do the same thing, you put your finger through the loop pointing towards you. You turn twice away from you, and you can use your index finger and thumb again to pull the loop through, and that is your knot. Tighten it, and you have your dropper there. Again, this is not stronger as far as I know than any of the other knots. It's not worse either, it's just much faster to tie. So if you're one of those who are wondering actually what knots are the best, and I just wanted to share today which knots are the ones I most typically use. Obviously this knot, if you want to have a loop, if you have a very thick leader, like the butt end of your leader, I typically use the perfection loop. You can check that, you can Google that, and there are plenty of tutorials how to do that. I'm just gonna demonstrate it quickly here. That's another knot I usually use, mainly because it forms a very small knot, but it doesn't work that well for thinner tippets. And for thinner tippet, if I want to have a loop, I'll use exactly the same knot as I use for the tag, for the dropper knot. Form the loop, in with the finger, go twice through, pull the loop through, and now you have a loop there. So those are essentially 3 of the knots I use, and I don't really think more about these knots anymore. These are the ones I use, and I trust them to be the best I've tested so far. So I hope that that has been useful for you as well. Please comment if you have any thoughts about these or questions. One thing I have to say about the Eugene bend knot or penny knot or whatever you want to call it is that it will take a while to master it well, but as you can see today, once you do know it, it's very fast to tie. But it will take some practice, and I can recommend, and that goes for any knot, is to just practice. Take some cheap tippet material and spend a half an hour and an hour in front of the TV and just practice your knots, because that's gonna help you a lot. will have bigger chances of success. So yes, thanks for watching.